Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You're now tuned in for episode 169.
169, the Free Gems.
You can tell it's a special episode because we got a special guest today.
Yes,
Of course, we got JayZ here to your right. Come on, K-Seco's then to your left. We
here.
got a very special guest right here with us. And I want to introduce him as Jackson White. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit because, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
we have this has been a long time coming. We got Jackson White in the building. A little bit about him. He's been a contributor for the Young Turks, which is a huge political platform. He's also done some workings with the Shade Room and other stuff, and branched onto his own entrepreneurial endeavors and content creation. So take it away. I want you to introduce yourself to the people, and thank you for coming.
Oh yeah, man, it's good to be here. 169 episodes. That's dedication. Yeah. Can we curse on this?
Yeah.
Not like crazy, you feel me? But that's real shit though. Especially as an entrepreneur. That's at the end of the day. From the moment y'all began this show, it was quality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that. Shout out to bravery.
For sure. But man, really. The key and shit, how I got where I'm at and how anybody gets where they at, you just got to keep on going.
No, for sure. And one thing I was going to say, as soon as I saw you, I was like, yo, bro, I've been in tune with your content because you guys obviously knew each other in the past. So I was already familiar with your face and your content. I remember as soon as I walked in, I was like, first of all, this motherfucker's like 6'6". So, threw me off completely. I'm so used to, but you said something about consistency, and I was like, yo, bro, you're one of the most consistent people I see in my algorithm. And I'm like, you constantly you're super topical. You're talking about what's going on. You're talking about important stuff, like very educated too. Just in the conversations we were having prior to this, we almost didn't start for another 20 minutes. If we didn't stop and say, let's put the cameras on, I'm like, bro, I'm really happy to have you here. So glad to get into some topics, but I do want you to get into a little bit of yourself. So I want to know, so how'd you guys meet?
We met at one of his pool parties. I think that's the first time because I lived here from 2016. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, where from the
born and raised, country motherfucker.
I'm gonna ask that. Okay, St. Louis.
Some great place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely a great city. Currently living in Chicago, but I lived here from 2016 till 2024.
Something like that.
2024.
That's a pretty big portion of life.
Yeah. I mean, shit, from age 24 to 32. So I kind of I kind of grew up out here.
Yeah.
As a man, you feel me? Like those real kind of grown up challenges.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
it was at one of your pool parties, man.
That's how it be.
That's
how it be.
It's funny because we were talking about you living in Chicago now. You were like, the hood is the hood. I didn't know you was from St. Louis. Now I get why you don't care. My bad. St. Louis might be the only place more dangerous than Chicago. Like, for real.
Sneaky though. Sneaky more dangerous.
No, not sneaky. It's where everyone knows. I've always been fascinated with looking at crime numbers and stuff, and I always heard East St. Louis and St. Louis, which obviously I believe are two different states technically, right?
Yes.
But they're right across the water?
East St. Louis is technically in Illinois.
Right.
And crime stats are always interesting because they're like per capita.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
But I like that. I love numbers. So per capita really breaks it down and be like, all right, so what is this really saying?
Right? And when I say the hood is the hood, man, all that really means is, crime is typically a result of poverty. More so than it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like how you come up is huge. How you grow and the environment you grow up in has a lot to do with the resources, opportunities, the history, the collective trauma that may exist. And that's why people rob, cheat, steal. Yeah. They may not be raised in an environment where they have exposure to healthy, emotional resolution, conflict resolution, and a lot of that again is just because people got hard lives. So that being said, man, Chicago's portrayed like, oh, you can't go nowhere out there. That's just not. It's not true.
Not
Can't
at
be
all.
true.
Yeah,
it's not.
Chicago's
true.
a huge city.
It's it was like what 3+ million, 2+ million people there. It says different.
It's like 5 million people in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Probably including the suburbs, because every time I look at the population of Chicago, I always thought it was like third largest.
Third largest.
It's New York, LA, and then Chicago.
And then I think the fourth is Houston, and the fifth is Phoenix, which
Phoenix?
was surprising to me.
I thought it was Dallas. Okay.
The last I checked, I'm pretty sure it was Phoenix.
No, I mean, sounds good because I know a lot. Phoenix is
a lot of people have been moving there too.
Right.
I hear Phoenix is happening. I'm talking about.
Phoenix is nice. Have you been there?
I've actually I went to Flagstaff. I went on the same road trip down to Chicago.
It's great. It's cool. A lot of people in our generation the Mexican women are, oh my God.
You in Mexico. When you in Arizona,
I mean, literally, that's where you at. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you into that, then,
yeah, no, I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah. Phoenix, I got to be a beautiful city. I know it's one of it's the only city that has like 2 skylines. I always heard like there's like a big divide in the middle. They were building both, and they were supposed to eventually unite in the middle, and they never did. The money dried up, and they're like, "Yo, we out."
And you know ball. You know ball. And
it's hot, but you know, like it's that dry heat, so it's more tolerable. Like,
it's not the same as that.
In St. Louis, maybe it'd be hot in St. Louis, man.
I can imagine.
Because it's not. I mean, there's a couple rivers, but like it's not. It's just in a bowl of humidity, basically. So it'd be like 98 degrees, 60% humidity.
Oh my God, that's like Miami.
Sticky at night.
Yeah, I was just sweating for no reason.
Hey, what do y'all really think about Miami, though? I'm curious. Like, how you feel about it?
Listen, I'm the type of person when it comes to Miami. All I need is 48 hours.
That's all you need.
Yo,
36 hours of it.
Yeah.
Other than that, take me home.
My box is expired after 24 hours.
It sounds like it's a lot of experience behind
you
only need
a small.
Lots of data. You feel?
That's all. Anything more than that? No.
My only advice, listen, when it comes to Miami, I'm telling you this, all young men, please, especially I know from like 18 to like 25, we love Miami. Yeah. Stop going to Miami. Save your money and go to Colombia. I promise you, the way you want to live in Miami is how you will live in Colombia at a fifth of the price. I promise you. So that's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know.
If you know,
that's my take on Miami. But it's like you got to be rich or willing to spend your life savings to look rich.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you do.
It's not worth it.
You do.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like
the big dogs.
It seems like if you're not ready to just waste money, basically, like you can go elsewhere.
Yes,
and too, like, I'm 33 now. Like, I'm not too old for Miami, but it's just,
It's
48 hours.
Bro, like, you could literally pull up to the club in a helicopter. You're not impressing anybody.
Nah.
You're right.
It's like you could have came with Barack Obama in a Bugatti. It doesn't matter.
In Miami, no matter how good looking you are, you're just another good looking motherfucker.
And how much money you got, you're just another rich motherfucker.
You could have
pulled athletes and how many rappers stay out here come out here to visit all year long. It's like you don't impress nobody.
You could have pulled up like Prince Ali.
It don't matter.
Babwa.
It don't matter.
With the red carpet and the elephant.
I've been up for 4 days anyway.
If you're not ready to spend like $35 on like a cheeseburger, French fries, and a ginger ale, don't go to Miami.
So the first time I went to Miami, it was when I got into politics.
Oh yes, I want.
Are we gonna get into that?
Well, that's so. I mean, I've always been into politics and just learning. I'm a nerd and all of that shit, proudly. But like, I started a company called Politiscope in 2018. That's how I officially got into politics, and basically it was a platform that people could keep up with legislation in Congress. You could see who voted for and against different bills. You could get like really good breakdowns of how these things work. You could donate to campaigns. And we had a news feed, a lot to talk about, a lot learned, but we did pretty well. We raised over $1 million. We was in Forbes 30 under 30 for it.
Wow. That's crazy.
And, I got a high school diploma. So, despite my skills, when you in your 20s, if you ain't got no letters behind your name or some type of certificate or trade, you ain't done nothing. But that opened up the doors. But anyway, we could talk more about that.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get into it. I always notice your content is like very basic. I always make the joke that Kimmel talks about the serious stuff, and I tend to just bring up like, oh, what did Blueface do today in jail? Like I try to keep a healthy balance of that to keep like a diverse crowd. But I always see like the things you're talking about is like you're super in tune with what's really going on. I think that's dope, and I think it's an important role you're playing in educating people, because I might not want to hear from Sally Sue that is just white lady blue eyes. Nothing wrong with that. But if I see you talking about it, I see the dreadlocks, I see, okay, I'm relatable. I'm like, he sounds educated. I want to hear what he has to say. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important what you're doing. I just want to say, man, thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out. Seriously.
Appreciate it. Now, I think that our generation and down, I think we have an opportunity, to kind of even the playing fields of who's involved in politics, because it really is deeper and more widespread than people think. And a lot of that is just because our education system doesn't really open our eyes to it. But I'm a huge advocate for being involved in your community, both politically and just as a neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to know the people that you live around if you can. Participate in community events if you can. That's really what helps you to grow a sense of empathy and remove a sense of apathy, realizing that, in fact, you can make a difference. People on city council, for instance, like, there's programs that directly impact the jobs that are available in your town, that impact the quality of your education system. The town, I'm from St. Louis, but there's little towns in the cities and stuff. I grew up in University City, and there's a program for anybody who goes to public school. When you enroll in kindergarten, if you do well, participate in extracurriculars, get good grades and stuff, you can graduate with $500 in college savings. And that money comes from parking meter tickets and stuff like that. So those types of programs can be directly implemented. Like, I have an idea how we can, set people up with better opportunities, and we'll pay for it through these means. And people on city council, if you look at like the voting tabs, a lot of these people maybe have been in these positions for decades, and we don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, very true. Yes, they're shooing every year.
Like, who the hell are these people? And then a lot of them come from like families who have been on, my uncle and my dad and my grandfather.
Just shoot right in.
So like they sneak in there, and like it's only maybe a couple hundred people that even voted less than that.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
he's 100%.
Right. I'm thinking about it. You're right though.
Yeah.
It's like, who's the sample size that even voted for this person? Probably the 100 people who even know this person exists at this position, or that these elections are going on. Like,
out of the thousands who could have possibly voted, but don't know what's going on.
Don't even know what's going on. And that's why it's important what you're saying. Is like, we got to be involved in these small in local things that are going on as far as our local politics. Everything you just said, you're opening my eyes, because I'm actually, like, now that my son's in school up here, my oldest, is like, I'm seeing how important all these things are, knowing who the principal is, knowing who's the caseworker for this, the social worker, and that eventually leads into who's the mayor, who's this and that, because I couldn't tell you who the mayor of my town is, and now I feel like I'm wrong. I got to go find this out.
No,
I got to follow your lead.
I think that's really big, especially in our communities when it comes to politics or something. I feel like we're in a situation where we say, that's for the older people. Like, we just have the stigma that's not for
now
us.
We are the older people.
Crazy.
And
we grown now.
and like, our mindset to it is, that's not for us to worry about. That's for them and the people in the suits. But regardless, no matter who is a position in power, they're affecting our everyday lives. So even though you might have this mindset of, politics is for them, people that look like this, people at that age, people that are more educated, but at the end of the day, everybody's policies is affecting you as an individual. So at the end of the day, you pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
So it's about all of us.
It's about all of us. And again, we pay so much attention to, like the presidency and the federal government. It is important, and especially now, how can you not pay attention to it? But it's the federal government, more so than anything else. It makes budgets for, like Medicaid, Medicare, different research programs. It sets aside how much money's going where. It deals with the military, and it's more so like foreign relations. Like, it represents the country abroad. So there's a lot that the federal government can't do in your backyard, because it's not made to do that.
Right.
And so it's not, every 2 years you have midterms, every 4 years you have presidential elections. But again, a lot of this really does just go back to public education, because if people knew that how their cities functioned and how they in fact can make a direct impact, more people would. Why wouldn't we? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we not? And especially, like, for you have children, So you're thinking about things differently than people who don't.
Yes.
Like people with kids are looking at things like home ownership and, you know, like, okay, I'm not trying to just blow my, you can't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're irresponsible, that's going to directly impact people who didn't ask to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and statistically, that's kind of when people typically start paying more attention. But,
I also think,
very true.
Yo,
now,
no,
I'm
100%.
I'm like, why is this park so dirty? You know, things like that. Like,
now you think
I
like,
didn't care. I just wanted to smoke weed on the bench. Now it matters. Like, why is this filth? What's this?
What is this going on?
You got kids, and it makes you just think about things. That where's my tax money going?
Yeah,
right. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I think that another thing that we have to take in consideration, especially like I said, when it comes to our communities, is the fact that a lot of us, people that look like us, are living in survival mode. So when you're living in survival mode, you're not thinking about all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You're thinking about today. I got to pay my bills today. And you know, the state of the economy and everything that's been going on, and the fact that, you know, when you look at in 10-year increments how, you know, the value of the dollar is going down when wages are always been stagnant, more people are in survival mode. So I feel like that the ability to actually focus on the extra is not there. People are clouded. People are on an autopilot right now.
And a lot of
people are
that
struggling.
is-
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like add that layer on top, that also pays in consideration why people are not even paying attention to what's going on, because they can't even focus. They're worried about what they have to worry about right now.
Yeah.
So that's another layer on top of that.
And a lot of that is enforced through legislation.
Exactly.
Keep them broke and tired.
That's exactly.
Keep these motherfuckers poor.
No,
Not
exactly.
lying.
No, absolutely. We can't afford to focus on these extra stuff when we have to pay these bills.
I'm
You know
too
what I mean?
tired to give a damn.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
kind of like that theory. If you go to school hungry, it's like the rest of your day is going to be destroyed.
Speaking of go to school hungry, I mean, like I mean, you know, like specifically this issue is, you know, Republicans at large, like, nah, fuck your kids. You can't fuck school lunches. Like, no, this is the I mean, not only is that just straight evil, but it's detrimental to the future of the nation at large.
Yeah.
Like if kids don't have good access, not just to proper education, but nutrition and stuff like that, then they can't do as well, which impacts their ability to participate in the job market, which impacts the country's ability to compete with the rest of the world.
That's a fact.
And so, you know, America is, you know, relatively still a new place. You know,
Yes, comparatively.
I always say that.
yeah, it's still it's pretty new, and we got here very fast, and so a lot of our culture is me, and it's short-term gains. You know, like these people who are worth tens or hundreds of billions of dollars. Like, fuck the millionaires.
Right.
So much of what of our federal legislation is shaped for a few thousand people, for their benefit. Like,
real.
there's over 330 million people in this country, and the system's so corrupted that people like Elon Musk can spend $300 million in one election cycle, get in government, defund things that people depend on illegally, right? Illegally. He should be in prison for what he did, but he won't go.
Nope.
But illegally defund research programs, things like Meals on Wheels, you know, the big beautiful bill that is kicking 17 million people off Medicaid, mostly in red rural Republican areas, right? And then Elon Musk, you know, more importantly than cutting shit, he ended all the federal investigations into himself.
Yes.
And then bounced.
Yep.
Oh, that's some rich shit.
That's how this shit works.
It's crazy.
Yes.
That, like, our government is that cartoonishly corrupt.
Cartoonishly is right.
I've seen him go on the Elon spiel, so I'm here for it. Let's go.
I've never liked him.
Yeah.
Well, I've never liked him because he's a fraud. He's like he's not Jeff Bezos. Like, Elon Musk is a mascot and a venture capitalist. That's what he is. He's not an engineer. He's not a physicist. He he has all these ideas and he's going to solve all these problems. And my initial issue was just like, how is this one person doing all of this? Oh, he's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he just takes credit for things. Right. And then, like, Tesla's stock is bro, it's bullshit.
It is.
Tesla barely sells any cars. They're great cars. But how is Tesla's stock worth more than, like, the next 7 biggest car stocks combined? That's a fraud. And the reason, and people put, like, bro, that shit's gonna crash at some point majorly. Because the whole point is like, well, at some point, he's gonna have this battery and then everything's going to be cheap. But what Elon Musk does is he's like, in 6 months, this car is going to be able to drive with no recharge from New York to California. Doesn't happen. In 1 year, we'll have this. Doesn't happen.
Can I add in?
Yes.
As he's saying that, he's getting government money. So throw that in there. As he says this is going to happen, that's when he's getting these millions of dollars funneled into his accounts.
Never forget, man, Donald Trump made a tweet about Elon Musk in his first administration, and now they have this weird buddy bromance, weird shit going on. He said something along the lines of, matter of fact, look it up if you can. Just put Trump Elon Musk tweet. It's probably going to be the first thing that comes up. But he said something about basically Elon Musk, everything you do, nothing you do works, and if it wasn't for government taxpayer subsidies, you would be nothing.
And now, fast forward,
but again, like, outside of that, so we can move on from Elon Musk because I'll just be talking shit about him for the next 2 hours.
He gets a little passionate about Elon.
Oh, I do too.
I make him switch over
because I could talk about this the whole time. Yeah. I just wanted to circle back on one thing that was said. You're 1,000% right. How the government is focused on enriching a few thousand people when it has 330 million people to look after, and in keeping the majority of us in poverty, that feeds the system, because now you're increasing police budgets. Criminalization equals profits. So at the end of the day, the system's set up exactly the way it's supposed to be. So we're not worried. This is a money game. We're not worried about competing with China and all these heavy hitters when it comes to education or nothing, because education doesn't make money. It's bottom line. Poverty is money.
For a few people.
That's what I'm saying. And that's all it is.
Right.
For every bed we put somebody in prison, that's money for them. Yep. So I think the system is working exactly the way it's supposed to. Yeah. And we can kind of see the fact that we are eroding when it comes to the world stage, when it comes to all these other statistics, when it comes to education, when it comes to engineering. And it at the end of the day, it's all smoke and mirrors, because like you said, it's short-term gains that sacrifices the long term. And that's all we've been about, short term. As long as the bottom line is this, the bottom line is this. We will even finagle numbers to make it seem like we're doing better than we are in order to get more money, because that's what it's all about. So I just wanted to circle back to what we were talking about here. But now we can move on to another topic, because I can talk about this the whole time.
What I did want to make sure I want to get into, since we started talking about politics and stuff, I wanted to get into this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing that's been going on. I don't know if you guys have seen the news.
Oh, yeah.
Because I actually just found out that it was about things he said about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So, do you know the whole actual story?
I know the
Please
whole story.
Break it down for me, because apparently Jimmy Kimmel's getting canceled, y'all.
Bro,
and people are in outrage.
Bro,
I'm seeing comedians on the news talking about it, and I'm like, wait, what's going on right now?
The Jimmy Kimmel has been on for 22 years. Bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. Jimmy Kimmel's been on forever.
So, so what happened was Jimmy Kimmel basically, in a comedic, because he's a comedian, in a comedic take, he was talking about how the shooter of Charlie Kirk, he was alluding to him being MAGA. And he was alluding to the fact that Trump didn't even seem to care about the death of his friend. And it was evident when they interviewed Trump about it. Somebody interviewed him talking about the death of Charlie Kirk. And he basically, literally, he was basically like, yeah. But do you see this amazing ball?
Yeah, he was like, that's really sad, but we're in $200 million on the ballroom. It's gonna be
No, that's exactly
Trump don't care about. Trump is an empty husk.
Oh, he doesn't care. So literally,
I never heard that.
So Jimmy Kimmel was poking fun at everybody's attacking all these, that MAGA base is attacking all these other people, but the shooter might be MAGA. And then he was alluding to the fact that he didn't even care about Charlie Kirk the way he makes it seem. So that was the whole thing that ended up getting Jimmy Kimmel fired. And
he's fired?
Well, he's fired because corporate America has bent the knee to Trump because they don't want to get. I mean, that's really all it is.
And the issue is the issue is the fact that the network has the right to pull any show they want to. Nobody is entitled to a show. But the fact that the network didn't have a problem with it. It was the fact that Trump and the FCC put pressure on the network to let him go.
Won't let me be.
He's on TV. They try to shut me down on that TV. So he feels so empty. But yeah,
that's mad tough. Trump's doing that.
What?
He's on that level?
Trump is a problem.
Yes,
man.
Bro.
Trump is
That's
a problem.
what he's doing. So he put pressure.
Donald Trump is.
That is the outrage right there.
That's crazy.
That's he putting pressure. Asking the FCC to put pressure on it.
So there was no racial slurs.
No,
nothing about Jews.
No,
none of that shit.
No.
He basically said Charlie Kirk shouldn't have been killed, but Donald Trump doesn't give a damn.
And the shooter, and he was alleging that the shooter was MAGA.
Man.
That was it.
Okay.
And Trump and the FCC put pressure on the network to let him go. It wasn't the fact if the network wanted to, they could have pulled him. But it wasn't that. It was the fact that they put pressure on the network.
Damn.
I mean, essentially what Donald Trump is a 3-year-old with all the power in the world.
Yeah. At the tip of his hand, right?
And he so ABC got rid of Jimmy Kimmel because they some hoes. Right.
Absolutely.
Paramount, Paramount got this. What was it? ABC. No. CBS.
Yeah, I think CBS
settled with Trump. Trump sued CBS for $10 billion because nothing, and CBS and that's frivolous as hell. There's no way that Trump would have won that, but they don't want him to tweet badly about them, and they wanted this Paramount deal to go through, so they gave him $16 million. And now Donald Trump is like, we fired Jimmy Kimmel, so now let's get Seth Meyers and everyone else off the air. And I've been doing it for 10 years.
Shit. Working on it.
He was literally in the Oval Office the other day, like, you're not allowed to criticize me. Like, no, yes, we are.
He's talking about putting pressure.
He's crazy, bro. He's crazy. And
removing federal funding from networks that criticize. Like, this is where we're at. We're at North Korea status.
And think about how pathetic
we're at North Korea status.
Bro.
Yeah, where you're like, man, you guys talking bad about me. Let's go in there and defund some shit.
Wouldn't it be really cool if everyone had to do whatever I say? And if you don't do what I say, you're gonna go to jail and you have to pay me all your money.
That is too spot on.
Yeah. But that's how small and petty.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump is. There are no words for this dude. No. I often wonder how he is a real human being. Like, the truth about Donald Trump is he never really intended to be president.
I think he was just fucking around, right? Yeah, right. Like, he made a bet on the golf course. He's like, you want to see if I can be president? People with people in hindsight especially, but there were people who saw like, this dude's gonna win. But who really would have thought that he would beat a powerhouse like a Clinton? Like The Apprentice, that dude?
Now, before Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, she lost to a black man that nobody had ever heard of before. So she's just not good at campaigning. Think about how significant that is.
Yeah, nobody ever heard of.
Too strong.
Think about that.
Nobody ever heard of Obama before.
Now you're right.
Who is this dude?
Yeah,
and here he comes. But Donald Trump, he was looking to open a TV network. If he would have lost the election, then he would have been the ultimate what if. He could have rode off into the sunset with just this mythical cape on.
And he was the man.
Yeah.
Prior to, I swear, I know minorities, we loved some Donald Trump. How many songs up like Donald Trump? The Mac Miller had a Donald Trump song. Like, Trump was the man. 15 years ago, we used to big up Trump.
The biggest mistake he ever made in his life.
And because we just didn't know his views on anything.
He's a fraud. I mean, Donald Trump
absolutely.
The Apprentice was him cosplaying as a businessman. You're fired. Like that was a bunch of BS.
It
was a reality show.
Right.
Donald Trump Donald Trump inherited hundreds of millions of dollars. Every time he screwed anything up, his dad would bail him out.
Yeah.
He, not just the bankruptcies, but Donald Trump rips people off by practice. He doesn't pay people.
Yes.
There have been, businesses that have gone out because he didn't pay them.
That Birdman.
He's constantly running scams. He's just a con artist. That is what he is. And he's stupid.
he's not even smart.
Stupid.
I think anybody with ears can tell. Like, yeah, he's not qualified for this.
You know what was crazy?
Right. Like what?
Right.
What was outrageous? He is absolutely hilarious. He was being interviewed. This was like a few days ago, and the interview was asking him, saying how Charlie Kirk said there was no such thing as hate speech, and Trump said, "Well, he's not saying much now, is he?" Something like that. I swear to God,
his friend and I.
Yo, bro, I'm like, what Trump
doesn't have friends, man.
I'm about to say, who? Why is he talking like that? He's like, I bet he's not saying not much, is he, or something like that. Something like that. I'm like,
he's doing this in front of our bro. Like you said, this is a comic book, a cartoon
bro,
style.
He's like the most unqualified person that you could possibly dream up. Bro,
this is dastardly level.
Bro, tens of millions of people voted for this man 3 times.
I'm about to say.
3 times.
He got elected twice.
But kind of like to revert back to how we were talking about community politics. America, it's a shit show right now in leadership, but America, this isn't sustainable. The United States is this is an empire. The United States is not one country, it's 50 countries. United under one federal united under one federal umbrella. That's what this place is, and we got territories. This place is huge. France is like the size of Texas. This place is huge, and there are thousands of I don't know how many, but hundreds of thousands of municipalities probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This place is incredibly complicated, and if the federal government, like the thing that's really keeping everything together, if that just goes out, like what's really going to happen? Is this place going to become 2 or 3 places?
You know what's funny?
I thought about
somebody. I saw something the other day where they said that the Roman Empire never fell. That the Roman Empire only morphed and evolved into all these others, and the basis of the founding of our country ties to the Roman Empire. And as you know, the Roman Empire was never conquered. It was just so big, so mass, that everybody just split off and started doing their own thing. They were never conquered. And you're 100% right. The fact that it's not sustainable, and our debt grows every year, and we'll never pay our debt, and our debt will continue to grow because we've created an empire, as you said, to where our foreign policy is dominated by our military spending, and we have to shell out so much money in order to keep what we have at bay, because we've created our empire off fear and war. That's what we created off of. We have to tell countries in the Middle East, you have to use the U.S. dollar. How do we do that? But through intimidation.
It'll blow you up.
Our empire is literally holding together by fear and intimidation. That's why we have to shell out so much money to our military in order to keep it afloat. We need military bases all the way around, because if other countries just stop using the U.S. dollar, that's just one example. Completely plummet our currency.
It'll be all, and we're about there. We about there,
and we have to also intimidate other countries in using the forms of government that are conducive to our foreign interests, to our corporations. We force other countries to use their resources for our corporations. That is the only reason why we can make something for pennies on the dollar. Example like Nike. That's the only reason why we make shoes for $15, sell them for $200, because we force a chain of command to where we get the rubber for dirt cheap in Africa. We make sure that they cannot actually have their own infrastructure to produce their own rubber. We have to make sure they get it dirt cheap there. We have to make sure that we ship it off to Asia, make sure that they can't do anything to make sure that they actually grow from their situation. We make it. I mean, we get it dirt cheap in Africa. We produce it dirt cheap in Asia, and then we ship it here. That's what our whole system is based off of. Mm-hmm. Our whole system is based off that.
That and the whole world trade system that's how the whole planet works. Which is, why nationalism, especially now, just it's a fantasy. The whole idea it would kind of goes into tariffs. Like we're gonna put tariffs on everything, and that'll force manufacturing to come back here. No, it won't, because the world does not work that way. On top of the fact that in order to bring manufacturing here, one, we would have to essentially kind of change the way the entire world trade system functions. But also we have to put a lot of money into building manufacturing here, which corporate America does not want to do, because we'll have to pay people.
Exactly. We're gonna pay factory workers 40 an hour.
Right.
It's not gonna work.
So all these tariffs are doing is making things more expensive. That's all it's doing. So like if you ever see anything that's like record revenues brought in from tariffs, that we paid that. That's not
that's extra tax.
That's not like that. That's just us paying more for things. That's all that is. It's not them.
Right.
And that's what's so crazy about, no matter how many times it's brought up, no matter who tells him, it's like Donald Trump no, that's not how tariffs work. Bro, this dude is the president. And tariffs are driving wholesale vegetable prices are up like 38%. Coffee's like 11%. Ground beef is like 10.5%.
Gas. Anybody PSC and G bill go crazy? Mine has.
Electricity's gonna be skyrocketing over the next several years too.
I'm glad you actually brought up tariffs, because that kind of led into the one of the topics that we had about the farmers, Middle America, the farmers. Now, and I had a topic about the farmers, and I was just talking about immigration. Add immigration on top of the tariffs. So China used to buy its soybeans from American farmers.
Okay.
It's something literally it was like a $13 or $15 billion industry every year.
Damn.
You know what they're doing? They're not buying any anymore. They're going to Brazil to buy it. So these farmers depend on exporting to a lot of other countries, and with these tariffs, these countries are like, you know what?
Too expensive.
We're gonna go somewhere else. We'll go to Australia to get our stuff.
And why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? I want to deal with that.
The days of
money. I don't give a fuck about this relationship.
The days of the United States being the sole world superpower, that shit's over.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's been over since like PlayStation 2. I knew Japan had some shit going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, China got some shit going on. But
and because of that though, the rest of the world is like, shivving us down. Well, of course, like, okay, let's speed up their downfall, because fuck them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like and like
and the rise of bricks.
And as Kamal was explaining, companies or buying supplies from different nations and stuff like that. And also, as he was explaining how we have had our dominance through the military, China has a bit of a different approach. Everybody owes them money.
Everybody owes,
which is it's a bit nicer way to
it's a little nicer. Yeah.
I still own you, but like
we're not gonna set up no McDonald's in the middle.
It's just more sophisticated.
And not only does everybody owe them money, is also they bridge relationships through trade,
and they make everything.
They do
quite literally.
We bridge our relationships through fear mongering. They bridge relationships through trade. Mm-hmm. So a lot of other I pay attention to what's going on in the world and world politics and what countries are doing. So there are many countries around the world who were forced to comply with America based off of fear or based off protection. But now China is giving a lot of countries an alternative, and their incentive is through trade, because everything is manufactured and produced in China. Mm-hmm. So
what are you really going to do? What are you really going to do? China's going to be, for most of China's history, they've been a world power on top.
Right.
bro, they're gonna be where they have for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
What are you really gonna do about a country that makes all your shit?
Everything.
And they're literally like 4 times the population that we
Right.
have. So I always learn. I'm like, listen, man, there's one place we probably shouldn't be beefing with. It's probably the people that have 4
Right.
times more people than us. Like,
And make everything that we have.
It's probably.
like-
I was about to say it's probably the country that we need them more than they need us.
Yeah. And the thing about empires too, like, you know, whether it's this one, the Roman Empire, anything that any conqueror ever laid out. One of the reasons that empires don't last is in fact because they're not very homogenous. Like you have many different kinds of people who are like, okay, now we're all Romans, like, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is American isn't really a thing.
No, it's not.
It's not real. Like it's so, you know, you have people from all over the world here with different cultures, different beliefs, different and so it's difficult to get all of that to move in one direction unless you're taking care of people so that they can be like, oh, whatever, we can all live in harmony. But man, when everybody broke, when people are in a sense of despair, when people are angry, how do you keep everybody together?
And you're right. And I think homogeny, when you look at other countries, like you look at the Nordic countries, you look at countries like Norway, you look at countries like Sweden, who are more homogenous, they've never put in place or enacted laws that discriminated against any of their people because they're all homogenous.
Yeah, because
they never dealt with Jim Crow. Yeah. They never dealt with trying to hold back a population of their own country because they're all the same. You know what I mean? So when you take that in consideration,
can't be racist in China. We're all Chinese.
That's what you see. You see what I'm saying?
How would be mad at bro?
We really gonna be racist in Sweden? We all have blonde hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you factor that into consideration and factor into the trillions of dollars that we don't have in this country based off the systematic racism since slavery. I'm not even talking about during slavery. Since slavery, there are trillions of dollars of GDP lost that we don't have due to holding back races in this country. Other countries have never done that before. Homogenous countries don't think like that because they're all the same. So you're right.
And so much smaller normally.
Yes.
Unless it's China. But they're all, the rest of them again, like the countries.
But they're all
Tennessee.
but homogenous countries. We're all the same. So we're all going to help each other. Whereas America, it's always me versus you, this religion versus that religion. I don't want this person to succeed, or I will make sure we're good, even if it's at the detriment of them.
And America's despite the legends, America's always been a multicultural place.
Of course.
Always. You know, that's the idea of like, oh, we're the great replacement theory and like white people like, oh, we're being like, first and foremost, y'all all immigrated over here not that long ago. So there's that, you feel me? But also, I mean, the cat's out the bag, man. This country's not going to stop getting more brown. Gay people aren't going back in the closet, and you know, women aren't going back in the kitchen. And the craziest thing about it is it's like, okay, if we exclude, you know, like kick all the Mexicans out, like the economy will collapse. Yeah, absolutely. Let's kick all the women out of the workplace, like, bruh, like
it makes sense.
Back to the kitchen.
It's ridiculous, and it's such a shame. It speaks a lot to just again like human nature and what we are and what we struggle with. How petty and sad is it? The things that we're capable of, but we can't get past, like shit like racism. That's real, bro. It's real.
Beyond real. It's etched into the DNA of the culture.
Like there are huge swaths of people who, you know, their main focus is not, you know, the cost of healthcare or how are we gonna get our wages raised or
Social Security?
Like that's
education.
all on the back burner. On the front is, I remember the good old days when I didn't have to see gay people when I went to the supermarket. Now every time I step foot outside, I see lady boys, and I'm tired of it.
Way too good.
100% right. 100% right.
And it's
bro.
I mean, but bro, like that's real. Like you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like it's that that drives people to the ballot box. And that's what the Republican Party is all about. The Democratic Party is very corrupt, you know,
extremely.
But it's not. It hasn't just sunk to the bottom like the Republican Party has. It is a cult. It is a cult that is completely beholden to one man. And that, I mean, it's really, I don't know what the hell is going to happen, because Trump might not make it another 3 years because he survives on like Diet Coke and Big Macs. And you know, and then after him, what the hell is the Republican Party going to do? No one can replace Trump. Trump is like, people like him who command cult followings don't come around often. You know, like Bernie Sanders, Martin Luther King, people like that who just command these huge swaths of personality followings. You know, the problem with putting all your chips into this basket, Trump's going to die soon. Trump, who knows what's going to happen? J.D. Vance can't replace him.
No, none of them.
None of them can replace him. So what are you going to do when he's gone?
Cruz, none of them.
But the Democrats, man, like, y'all motherfuckers lost to this dude again.
It's their fault. It's 100% their fault. 100% their fault.
And now, bro, we're not even a year in, and this dude has already.
It seems like it's been like 5 years.
He's been running amok.
And
his highlight reel is crazy. His highlights,
it's crazy.
It's like Barry Sanders in the 90s. Bro is doing everything and anything
as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and when you watch him running, like in 2015 and shit, like, it's amazing that people fell for that. Well, The Apprentice, a lot of stuff is responsible for it, but people bought into that Apprentice shit. You know, Donald Trump would be up on stages. Nobody knows more about infrastructure. Nobody knows more about war. Nobody knows more about anything than Donald Trump. And it's like, and people were like, yeah.
Meanwhile, he don't know shit.
No,
the first thing this man said, the first thing he said when he came down that escalator and announced his candidacy was "fuck Mexicans." That's the first thing he said.
We're gonna build a wall, and Mexico's gonna pay for it. That was his first thing he said.
Tens of millions of people were like, "Yes."
I've been waiting for this moment.
Bro, don't forget, man. I mean, we got to come together, but man, there's a lot of people that love this shit, man. They love this shit.
Yeah.
They love it.
For sure.
And you know, again, like for someone like Charlie Kirk, it's like I made a post the other day. You know, this dude didn't do nothing but hate on everybody. And conservatives are like, he was an electrifying inspiration to us all. He was, what a guy, you know, like, what a champion. Yeah. And all he did, you know, bro, like once a week or so, he would talk about how the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. You know, the thing that ended public segregation and gave minorities the right to participate in society without right, like that was a mistake. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. You know, women shouldn't work. If I got on an airplane and I saw a black pilot, I don't know if I'd trust that. You know, the reason that people died in the Texas floods is because black people and lesbians are in government positions. Bro, that is all he said. Yeah. That was his whole thing.
Quote unquote DEI. So
that was his whole thing. And actually, you know, it's like the people, no. What happened is Donald Trump and Elon Musk fired hundreds of people who were the head of an agency that could have warned these people that this flood was coming. Y'all got rid of these people. And that's what happened. No, Charlie Kirk, no. It's because black people. It's because women. It's because Latinos and Muslims. Like, you know, and they're trying to police how people feel about this. It's very, very easy to say.
Irony.
It's so easy to say that Charlie Kirk shouldn't have got shot in the neck. That's very easy to say. You know, like, yeah, he didn't deserve that. But then they're like, okay, no, don't say anything else, though. Like, okay, no, bro. That is what millions of people in this country, it drives them. It gets them going. It's provocative. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets the people going.
Finish your thought. I didn't want to cut you
off. No, I was just going to close off by saying again, like, really think about how telling is it that so many people, again, it's one thing to be like, yeah, that he didn't deserve that, because he didn't deserve that shit. You know what I'm saying? Despite all that, he didn't deserve to get murked in public.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a difference between that and like, oh, I'm so, we lost,
screaming in outrage.
like,
we lost
really,
the real patriot.
Really, what does that say about you?
They're trying to call
what
him
does
Martin
that say
Luther.
about
They're
you?
trying to call him Martin Luther King.
Right, fuck Martin Luther King. He was a bad guy. Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday. Like, I mean, he was a
Straight
grifter.
hate. Straight hate.
Yo, one of the
Ain't
biggest.
nothing positive from bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Nothing. And so again, it's like, again, what does it say that people are deeply saddened by his passing?
Yeah.
What does it say?
And you know, it's funny because we were talking about Trump's administration being able to apply pressure on CBS. I thought about it. It's like, yo, truth be told, who's watching CBS? It's just Trump's followers.
He's watching it.
Right? Yeah. It's just his.
Because he spends all his time watching TV. Like, who's talking bad about Donald Trump?
Especially middle of America. Just we got regular cable. Let's do it. They're watching ABC, CBS, Fox 5. That's who's watching.
We ain't watching it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm watching TMZ and shit. I'm watching BET. Goddamn, I'm not fucking
watching YouTube.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm gonna watch a podcast before I ever turn those channels on. But it makes sense why he's so adamant. Like, no, this has to be shut right here because these are the people who actually listen to me. So this is super detrimental to him. Yeah. Nah.
This man has all the power in the world, and he's like, "Who's talking bad about Trump? You get them fired." Like, bro, you could do.
Take away their funding.
Let's talk about how much money he's made while he's been president.
He's selling $6,000 sneakers and shit. So he's on some other shit.
Bro,
he's trying to be in Jordans.
His coins,
Bibles.
Yeah. Oh, Bibles. Yes.
Yeah.
The Trump Bible.
The Trump Bible.
The Trump Bible. Got it.
Bruh, anything that you can possibly imagine, he has sold his raggedy ass name on it.
Yeah. The MAGA hats?
Anything, bro. You
Those
go
are
to his
big.
website, cologne, mugs, robes, golf equipment.
Pens.
he like he like Percy Miller.
Yeah.
He like Percy Miller.
But bigger than that, though. I mean, that's
sure.
the cheap shit. Let's talk about like the just honestly disgusting corruption. Bruh, Qatar gave him a $400 million plane.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Jared Kushner in Trump's first administration signed a $2 billion deal with Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Like, bro, like what? Trump has been pardoning people because someone paid him to do it. True. Like he would have, he has these dinners and people come and like, man, my son embezzled and stole money from, thousands of people. Like, yeah, that's my kind of guy. And then, you give him $1 million, you give him $300,000. Like, we'll see what we can do. Next thing you know, they're out of jail. All the meme coin, Bitcoin shit that he's done.
He had the dinners for the coins
in Oklahoma. Bro, and the school districts in Oklahoma use taxpayer money to buy $3 million worth of Trump Bibles to put in their schools. Like, bro, like it's like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?
Where is Oklahoma ranked in education? We know. We don't got it.
And again, like, bro, this shit is really happening. Yeah, like, this shit is really happening.
Cartoonishly.
Like, what? Like, bro, like, who? And no one else could get away with any of this shit but him.
Nobody. None of this.
Like, bro, it's like, when you really think about it, for me at least, you gotta have other shit going on in your life. Otherwise, you'll just be mad all the time. Mm-hmm. Because it shows you like how this shit really works, man. Yeah. Like, how is it that this man is able to do all of this and people are just letting it happen? Yeah. Because of the system and how it works. Like you said, it's working just how it was designed to work. Yeah, and this is the ultimate.
He's the one that's
he pulled back the curtain.
I was about to say, move the drapes to the side, look at the show.
Right.
Have fun.
This is how it works. This is what's going on.
We're going to fire people that I don't like, and we're going to free the homies.
And again, we're talking about Republicans because they're just, the bottom of the barrel. But the Democratic Party is basically the same level of corrupt.
Absolutely.
The Democrats, they won't take away your Medicaid. They won't let your children starve, but they ain't gonna do much for you. Like they'll protect the status quo. They'll do that. You might be able to get a little something through. But they're not, like the Democrats have dropped the ball so many times in terms, well, first and foremost, losing to this motherfucker twice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But, the opportunities that we've had to raise the minimum wage, the opportunities we've had to expand the healthcare system, not just keep the Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, for the sake of the legacy of his name, we could have a public option, which would be an expansion of Medicare, Medicaid, to where you could buy into a public option, which would lower the prices of private care. That would force them to drop their prices because you have this cheaper option available to you. Absolutely. A step above that is single payer universal health care, to where tax dollars pay for health care, period. We could have moved closer to that, but we haven't, because the Democrats are just as corrupt as the Republicans are. They're just not the same type of culturally corrupt, but monetarily, they ain't shit either.
It's the bottom line. The bottom line is always going to be the money. Show me the money.
They get what they want no matter who's in office, but when Republicans in office, they really get what they want.
And I'll say this: you're 100% right, and they could have done a lot of things. They could have codified Roe v. Wade.
We could have done so much shit, man.
But they always do this when they get in office. They don't do anything, and when Republicans get in office, they say, "Wow, look what Republicans doing."
You're right.
And I will say, and I keep going back to this quote that Donald Trump said. He says that Democrats always attack me for me not releasing my taxes. They always attack me for not paying any taxes, but they'll never try to pass legislation to change it because they're doing the same exact thing. They're benefiting from the same exact system. Right. They'll attack me for it, or they'll complain or chastise me for it, but they're benefiting from the same system.
That's exactly from insider trading and shit. Nancy Pelosi, who's made millions of dollars through insider trading, she was on, what was it, MSNBC or one of them recently, and there was a bill in Congress to basically make insider trading.
It was the Pelosi bill, the Nancy Pelosi bill. Yeah, that's what. It was coined that.
And they asked her about it. She's like, "I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Donald Trump." But Donald Trump actually, he blocked that bill because he wanted a clause in it that excluded him and the vice president. Like, y'all can't insider trade, but I can. So he was like, no, this isn't happening. And it didn't go through.
And everybody was on board. Both sides were on board. Nancy already made her money. She was like,
right, I'm 84 years old. Fuck it. And she about to run. She running again. She running for office again.
Bro, that's how it's always been.
Yeah,
these decrepit folks have been in office forever. Hold on to power. Yeah, and they screw up everything for the younger generation. Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
Or like the opportunities for. I mean, it really always boils back to the money. It always boils back to that because, you look at things like Israel gets what it wants no matter who's in office.
No matter bipartisan.
No matter who's in office, Israel gets what it wants. Like Joe Biden had many opportunities to really stop Netanyahu from just slaughtering people in Gaza, and because what Netanyahu, his thing, he's trying to keep war going so he can stay out of prison. Like, he's got corruption charges and stuff like that. And so a way for him to not face that is if he can keep Israel at war. And America just gives Israel money, so much money. They have single payer health care that we pay for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Our largest source of bankruptcy is medical debt, but we pay for their medical expenses. And meanwhile, despite the fact that the public, especially at this point, overwhelmingly is like, okay, can we put a stop to what Netanyahu's got going on? And then Biden was like, no, we ain't, no. And that had this last election.
They say that after Joe Biden left office, they said that he never really put the pressure on Netanyahu as he said.
Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. That's not even who Joe Biden is. Like, Joe Biden, by the time he was old as hell by the time he became president. He had been in the Senate since 1970 something.
What the
yeah. He in the Senate, not the House, right. The Senate. He was in the Senate since the 70s, and he's a career politician, and that's really what the Democratic Party is. They're career politicians. Like, you can have Here's spread out, especially on the local level. You have more kind of genuine statesmen. But in the federal level, you got some people here and there who aren't completely beholden to corporate money, but that's rare because it's hard to compete with them.
You can't compete.
You know, like these corporations have endless money and endless credit. And if you don't have like a really powerful following, a strong following, how you gonna compete with a $30 million budget? Mm-hmm. The Secretary of Education, Lisa McMahon, WWE. Linda McMahon. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Linda McMahon, WWE. She paid $20 million for that position. That's why she's there. That's how this shit works, man. That's how this really works. And until we can correct that, nothing can change. How?
Wait, you're telling me Linda McMahon is in the actual government? Like,
she's the
head Secretary
of Education.
Of Education.
She's
the Secretary of Education right now.
What? She's the Secretary of Education, and it's like this. Why not? You know, I got $20 million to blow. Why not?
That's insane.
And you know, RFK Jr. is the head of medicine, and he's not a doctor.
At all.
No. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Hey, listen, right now it's Trump's America. We got 3 more years of this shit left, so we're gonna see how this is all gonna pan out.
Before we get out of here, I know we got to get out of here in a few. Real quick, this was on the topic, and this is kind of what we've been talking about as far as local politics and everything. JayZ's casino in Times Square, the residents just voted no for it. So I just wanted to get your takes on that.
You know what's crazy? I was thinking about how the local government impacted that right there.
Yeah, and when y'all said it's provocative, I'm like, oh, I already knew. That made me think of that. But what do you guys think of Times Square shutting down? The casino partnered with JayZ, and Rock Nation partnered with Caesars to try to bring a casino to Times Square, and the local residents didn't want it. What do you guys think?
I think they hating on my boy just because they were like, not this one. They're not. This motherfucker used to shoot dice down here. Now he's trying to open up a casino. We're not letting him be able to put that on his resume. Fuck no, we're not doing it. I feel like that might have a lot to do with it, but because I mean, Nas is about to open up a casino in Queens. So I mean, I don't see why they stopped. JayZ is obviously more than that. I'm just saying it's not that they were hating. I'm obviously joking, but I don't know. I would have loved to see it happen. But the powers that be, if they shut it down, they shut it down. But I mean, a casino in Times Square, bro? That's gonna be insane.
That would have made a lot of money.
What? Billions, trillions?
An insane amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, because Times Square is tourist capital of the planet, basically.
Literally.
I don't know a ton about it, but I guess people feel maybe it's like kind of a moral thing.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's even anything personal against JayZ necessarily. It's just the fact that he's partnering, and then you hear they shut it down. They're gonna say JayZ's casino.
Yeah.
I think it's deeper than that.
Yeah, maybe people feel like, oh, I don't know if I want this influence here. Like, I mean, because economically, it would be a boom. It would be,
it's it
would make. I mean, people would be all over that, but.
Yeah.
What makes sense to me, again, knowing little about it, it would seem that people probably felt that maybe that's a bit much, and
for whatever reason.
Because I mean, I don't know. It's fucking New York City. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it's really a bit
David
much.
Buses the fuck out of there. Put a casino in. Let's run it the fuck up on this roulette table.
It's kind of not the place for like. That type of moral compass. You know what I mean? Like, but that what do you think?
Honestly, I don't think I'm for it. I'm not really for it.
Really? But why not though?
For a few reasons.
I know we got a couple seconds.
Yeah, for a few reasons. First of all, in Times Square, you talking about it's already congested. You add a casino in there, it's gonna be even crazier. Like
that
it already
went
is.
into it too. Yeah.
Thing is, too, when I said casino, I'm over here thinking they're just going to replace David Buster's with a casino.
Bro,
casinos be the whole building.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
10 stories, there's a mall in it. It turns to Italy in the middle of the mall. Right. Vegas is insane, bro. So I'm thinking about, I don't even see how logistically they're going to have to convert one of those buildings into a whole thing. Yeah. Like, it's going to be like a resort in there. But
now, if it was somewhere else, then that would be a different story. And I also think that I would like to see one if they were to move that and put it somewhere else. in an upscale community. I wouldn't want to see a casino in a lower income community. And I don't think that helps the community personally. So so those two reasons, I would like to see it somewhere else. If it was if it was an Upper East Side, Upper West Side,
casinos in Yonkers, they got casinos in Atlantic City. Like, listen, just pick someone else.
And bro, this is 2025.
Right.
They got casinos in your hand.
Open somewhere.
You got casino in your hand. You feel me? It's 2025.
Hey, you put FanDuel in the middle of Sea Caucus or whatever the fuck that is.
That's a fact.
But listen,
thank you guys.
It's been episode 169, man. We want to say thank you so much again, Jackson, man. We love it.
Yeah, Jackson White, everybody.
Taking the time out to come out here.
Thank you for having me.
Marv, appreciate you letting go a little bit over time.
Yeah, I know we're a little over time.
Thank you guys so much. Listen, tell a friend to tell a friend to
tell a friend. We're gonna have Jackson's info.
Yeah, you guys go make sure you go follow,
check him out,
learn something. I'm telling you,
absolutely.
Jackson, spell out your Instagram for the people one time.
It is Chivalrous Chacho.
Okay,
that's my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Chivalrous Chacho.
Yeah.
My YouTube is Politics and Paper.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/@politicsandpaper. I'm actually producing a number of documentaries right now that I'm excited about.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. For one of them specifically about tattoos.
Oh, here we go.
And also, y'all can check me out on the Young Turks Network. I host shows with them throughout the week. I also do consulting work with the Shade Room. So, their political posts, their political activities, y'all can check that out as well as they expand further into that realm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Wonderful. Thank you guys. FGP, Free Junk Podcast.
Follow, subscribe. Y'all go ahead. And we're going to see y'all next week.
Yes, we're going to see y'all next week. We out of here.
Yeah, thank you so much, bro. Great.